My name is Zion Clark, and I'm known for having caudal regression syndrome, a disease that is pretty rare across the United States. Not many kids are born with it. In my case, I was born without legs and a portion of my spine missing. That's what I live with every day, and that's me. My condition has not really meant much of anything to me, if I'm going to be honest, because it's just what life is. And I figure out a more effective way to move around so I can still get things done, so I can still drive cars, so I can still do every normal, regular day things. And when I was a kid, it was definitely difficult at first. But as a kid, there's not much changing my situation. Like, there's not much changing the situation still now. There's no difference to me than you walking on your legs to me walking on my hands and moving around. I knew I was different, but I just didn't care. And still now, I don't care. I'm not the guy with disability. I'm not the guy that wrestles with no legs. No, I am Zion. I'm just me. Because a lot of people look at me and associate me with a disability, but I'm telling you, you don't have to associate yourself with a disability. If anything, use your disability as one of your strengths. When I was growing up, I did get bullied. I got picked on. People always like to talk. I just figured out, like, okay, I'm just gonna learn how to fight and defend myself. And with me doing that, I was able to move freely and really focus on what I had a passion for, which is wrestling, which is fighting and track and field and all my other stuff I like to do. A hard moment in my life when I was forced to wear these prosthetic legs. They absolutely just didn't fit me. And I was trying to be forced to look like other people. That happened for years on end. With that being said, I finally got to the age where I was like, okay, I'm done with this. And I stood up for myself. I literally destroyed them with my own hands. I just made my own decision and just said enough was enough. When I first got into wrestling, it definitely was one of those sports that were more difficult than the rest. If you look back at the history of the sport, it was the very first actual competition sport on the planet, literally just two men opposing their will on each other. So with it being a sport like that, it's real gritty. But at the same time, ultimately, as a kid, it's fun to wrestle around and try to tackle other kids, you know? As I got older, I didn't have complications. I was like, yeah, okay, it's established. I don't have legs. Okay, who cares? How am I gonna adapt the natural wrestling style to the way that I move my own body and then make it my own style? So over a span of 10 years since I started, up until I was a senior in high school, I was developing a style. I was losing all the time until my senior year of high school, when I exploded and just kind of beat everybody across the state. Ended up getting to college and became an All-American. And now currently I'm competing to make it on Team USA. You know, it's just one of those things where I've been able to just put the disabilities aside and look at what's right in front of me and what I want to do. Some of my future aspirations are making it to the Olympic Games for wrestling and for Paralympic track and field. I've been working with the top fighters, top UFC champions, top Bellator champs, top wrestling champs across the world, because they're all really trying to help me like get to that level. And I feel like it's starting to pay off, and I'm really excited to see what's about to happen. I feel like my self-confidence is more of I just accepted reality for what it is, and I just move forward and see what I can do to better myself with what I've got laid out right in front of me. That's pretty much like I keep things extremely simple. Since I found a little bit of success, I've started working hard on bringing some of those people and building my own team from people I can find everywhere that have the same mindset that I do, to let's get stuff done, let's be successful, let's grind hard every single day, you know? What I want to say to somebody watching this video is life, it will suck sometimes. Like, I'm being completely honest, it's gonna suck. But at the same time, with us being part of the human race and living the human experience, we have the power, we have the willpower to get back up every time and keep pushing on. The most successful people in the world, they failed hundreds, thousands of times before they had that one success. Just think about it. If you're failing right now, you're in the process of growth, because you can't have growth without failure. So just keep pushing every day. One of the reasons I wanted to share my story today is because, you know, I do want to be a voice for the disabled community, but at the same time, I want to be a voice for everybody, to empower them and to lift them up, to show them that there are just limitless opportunities awaiting them if they put their mind to what they believe. There is one organization I'm so happy to be working with. They're called the All-Star Foundation, and they're in Sarasota, Florida. This organization, they're doing foster care differently, the way that I wish I envisioned that I had. I'm gonna be honest. They have an amazing facility, doctors, psychiatrists, counselors, like a whole legit campus, like acres and acres of land that these kids can like live on with their foster parents, and they still all go to schools and stuff, but they're in like a healthy environment where they can be nurtured into becoming like, you know, valuable citizens that can give back to society and they can be happy with their own lives. Some of these kids, they've seen some dark things, things that most people, if you weren't in the system, you wouldn't even think that were real things that could happen to a kid. I used to be with that foster kid. With having the knowledge that I have from 17 years of actually being in the system, like I was born into the system and that's all I know. So with that being said, I'm going to help these kids. I'm going to make sure that they're taken care of and set up for when they get ready to go into the real world. My name is Big Z. Let me know what you think of the episode below.